So, I don't know what's going to happen at work. Boss yesterday seemed a little stressed out. He hasn't paid someone this much money, and someone that has worked 40 hours a week, which I don't get paid much, you know. So he's like trying to rush me, and yesterday, let's just say we got a setback. So we're supposed to have the rub rail, and we're supposed to have the floor done, and we were trying to get it done by yesterday. We could technically get it done by yesterday if we had the rub rail and if the floor was sanded correctly, which was a complete misunderstanding by me because I didn't know we had to take down the diamond non-skid completely off. So and that was the issue. So today, I don't know if I'm going to have something to work on, you know, and so there's possibly some good news because he might be saving money on parts, but that means that it might take longer to get the other job done, so it means longer to get paid, hence less money to pay an employee. So we'll have to see if maybe I should probably take a couple of days off from him and then do some side jobs. We'll see from there. And this is the reason why I rather have really, really good quality tools and something that does things faster and than the stuff that they have, because the biggest thing that I lack is 30 years of experience. So I can get things done, but I'm not the fastest. So any little advantage that I can get, I will take. And so anything that I can do to cut down on the process of getting things done, I will do, because time is money. So that's where I'm stuck right now. There's a couple boat projects that another person has that I can do work on and I can get paid on. Not a problem. So there's always something.
There's always something to remind me of another place and time, where love that traveled far and found me. We stayed outside till 2, waiting for the light to come back. We didn't talk, I knew, until you asked.
So here I'm walking out, and because we started getting like water droplets inside our warehouse, and when I look outside, and this guy's got this long pipe thing and he's blasting water on both sides, and from what we guess what it is to take the barnacles from the bottom of the boat on ships, so they go underwater and use this to pressure off the barnacles from the boats. So I'm just taking a little video, see if I can capture it from this far without having to get close. Here I'm just trying to show, we made a box and we're trying to compound and polish it, do the finishing on it. And I'm using my M18 7-inch polisher. So what I'm using is a compound and polish compound. It's animal based, it's fatty based. It's a little hard to work with. It's you gotta really go slow first and break down the compound, and then continue buffing to continue breaking down the compound. And the thing is that it's very sticky, so like I said, you want to go to 800, then bring up the speed, once you get a hold of it. You don't want to use much. You just want that stuff spread out. 800 does most of the work, from what I can tell. It really just puts it into the to the material. This is gel coat, so it's not going to be like buffing a car. You're going to have to put some pressure in there to get it to shine. I also like, when I'm working with compounds like this, I want to make sure I get rid of all the compound with the wool pad, so that it doesn't so I can actually see what's going on, because what ends up happening is you start polishing and you think you're good and you want to wipe it down like how you would with a car, and then you leave, 800 DA marks, the sanding paper still marks on there. And sometimes these guys like to use just up to 800. I like to go up to 1,000 grit, maybe into 1,500, because it really gets a really good shine. But that depends on the amount of money that the customer wants to pay for the quality of product that they're getting. Right here, I'm actually spot putting some compound on areas that I want to hit again. I'm going to spread it out anyways, but you might not notice on the video, but I'm going to put pressure on the spots. And you're not going to burn through gel coat like this. I'm not putting that much pressure. That the box is unsecured, so most people like to put much more pressure than what I'm putting on right now. But you can see the pad flexing a little bit on there. And like I said, you want to put pressure, spread it out, and get that material to the point where it's broken down and it's leaving a nice reflection. You can start seeing the reflection on there. It's a very good polisher. Gel coat is very, very demanding, so I go through 9 amp hour batteries like it's nothing. But I rather have the batteries than a cable, an extension cable, even while I'm at the shop, because it's too damn convenient. The cables are on the floor. You're moving around the shop. You got trailers everywhere, junk everywhere. You're working with other people, and I just rather pick up the thing, have the batteries, put the batteries on a chair, and just start working. Sometimes I do take the quarter polisher for really, really, really oxidized, boats. But after that, the last few final polishes I'll do with it if I'm at the shop. But 98% of the time I'm using my own, and even if I go to different locations not at the shop, I'll be using it. I can polish a whole boat with four 9 amp hour batteries. Now I'll keep one charging, but talking about whole boat interior, exterior, and all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of hours polishing. Okay, I'm just going to the next side, wiping it off, making sure that I can kind of see. Next video is coming up. Here we're looking at the Worx Hydroshot. My dad's giving it a try. We don't have out a hose on the outside. There's no nozzle, so he's trying to water the plants. He likes to have his plants here, and so I'm just putting up the pressure here for him. Now there's gonna be a lot of Spanish going on, and I'm gonna kind of keep them talking while I'm talking, so hopefully the audio won't be an issue. The battery works pretty well. Got over 5 gallons of water on a charge. It wasn't completely charged. High pressure, just constantly going. But that's about the limitations with a 20 volt smaller battery. I don't have the 4 amp hour battery. I will be getting that because I want to wash my car when I'm at the apartment and whatnot, and it works relatively well, especially when I want to clean the rear wells. By the way, I'm testing this camera out. It's a Yi 4K camera, running at 2.7K. So he's just watering some plants. It has a nozzle. The nozzle you can actually switch over to different tips. And he has the short nozzle, which is lower pressure. The larger wand goes up to the higher pressure. And if you have the larger wand and hooked up directly to a hose, you'll get the full 300, 70 something, 75 psi. So out of a bucket, it's about 175, 200 or something like that. 175, I think is what it was. And then with a hose, it's 375 psi. So if you can get a hose out there, it's a lot better. The thing is here, it's more pressure than volume. Okay, so it's not a high pressure. It's not a pressure washer. It's not gonna do some crazy high pressure 1000 psi. It's very low psi. The whole idea is to put some pressure water where you can't get a hose available to you. Sometimes, you live in an apartment complex like we do, it just sucks. You want to just clean up a little bit, like the toys outside, the bikes, water some plants. That's just where this is going to fit in. It's right in the middle. It's nothing crazy.
Keep going. You missed a spot over there on the left. You missed a spot. You missed another spot. Oh, don't say that. It did need a little bit of water here, so to get the gunkiness off. You want to go to the pool? Yeah. Too bad we're not going to the pool. We're going to the car wash. And after the car wash, maybe we can go to the pool.
Get off of your week. Wow.
Dry enough yet?
Yeah.